Welcome, KCIW listeners at 100.7 and KCIW.org, Brookings, Oregon. You know the routine. I say the morning greeting, which is, it's a brand new day, and you get to respond with never been lived before. We're going to see if you can catch on as well as the two guests I have with me today. So here we go. It's a brand new day.
Never been lived before.
Oh my gosh, is that in symphony or what? So, thank you. So welcome to Joyously Free with none better than me, Joanie Lindenmeyer. Yes, I'm the best-selling author and a resident of Harbor, Oregon for 34 years. Unbelievable. So this Gadio show is a show that talks about LGBTQ stories and tips, along with religion, church, faith, and spirituality. Of course, it's all centered around joy, the freedom, the courage, and the confidence to exude that. The purpose of the show is, of course, to share that joy and that freedom, hence the title Joyously Free, which came from my second book that I co-authored with Elizabeth Ann Atkins of twosisterswriting.com. And yes, it is up for a Lambda nomination. I will know July 30th if we are winners or not. But moving on, that book has just entitled and brung the joy out of so many people, and that's what we're going to hear from today. We're going to seek understanding. We're going to think out of the box. We're going to know that abundant love and gratefulness is all around us and within all of our friends and family right here on the coast. We will know that God, whatever name you put on that God, is around us and in us, so we do not need to be troubled, afraid, or saddened. In fact, in our presentation today, again with my life, there's no hate speech, no hate behaviors, and no bullying. We will keep things blasted with the 3 C's, courage, confidence, and collaboration. In the Northern California coast and the Southern Oregon area that we live in, we hope that all listeners will appreciate this podcast today. Our special guests are sitting right across from me. I'm going to give you a couple little names here, and you might be able to figure out who and where they're from. One is named Kat, and one is named Effie. So think about that for a second, but we're going to do our prayer first. And our prayer today is a quote that I found, and I think it is so apropos of our discussion. Here's the quote. Acting is not about being famous. It's about exploring the human soul. So let's take a deep breath in and let it out with doubt. Take another deep breath in with joy and out with fear. Let's take another big deep breath in, knowing that we are spiritual beings as well as human beings. I'm going to read this quote one more time. Acting is not about being famous. It's about exploring the human soul. When I read that this morning, the human soul of myself just exploded with peace. Yes, exploded. It's a burst of peace. It's not just something that you sit quietly and just stare. There's something inside me that moves from my baby toe up to the hair on my head that says, peace is joy and joy is peace. And that is the soul. Our bodies will eventually die, but our soul lives on forever. And if you've been through any kind of grief with a beloved, you know exactly what that means. So those were my little thoughts for today. Our holy God, Creator God, and Jesus the Spirit, guide us and guard us today as we do our beautiful life. So here we go. I am excited to introduce everybody to our special guests, friends and colleagues in one sense. We have Karyn-Lynn Fisette, also known as Effie, my dear friend Effie, and Kat Liddell, who you all might know from, and she's going to tell you where she's from. But our topic with these two beautiful people, the joyously free world of community theater. Yes, community theater and the joyously free world. Welcome, Effie. Welcome, Kat, to Joyously Free.
Hey, Joanie. Thanks for having us today.
Oh, my gosh. My pleasure. My pleasure. How are we doing?
Oh, gosh. I mean, it's just such a gorgeous day. It's such a gorgeous start to June. Like, it just feels like summer's already here, and I'm feeling that in my heart and my soul right now.
Right on.
Yeah,
right
just
on.
Basking in the glow of summer, even though summer's not even here.
Right. Effie, how about you? How are you doing today?
I concur with what Kat said. I'm
Right on.
enjoying this good gardening weather.
Yes.
And-
The sun rays are incredible, aren't they?
Yep.
And the warmth.
Sun.
Yes. And speaking of June and speaking of summer, we've got an exciting week coming on because this coming Saturday, June 7th, will be Brookings Pride. Crescent City Pride is the 21st of June, but this weekend is the Brookings Pride. I have a couple book events before that. I'll be Thursday at Fort Castle Books, and Friday I'll be up in Port Orford Library, all from 4 to 6. But Pride is going to run on Saturday. Who remembers the times?
Saturday. It's going to be running from, I think, 11 to 3.
That's what I heard too,
is
Kat.
the word that I heard on the street on that one.
Yes. The word on the street. I love it. I love it.
No, and it's the fun thing for me about Pride in Brookings. It's like it's a whole Pride in the Park event. So they take over the band shell. They have some vendors, some good food, free community meal. Like good music, good people. Just us. There's going to be a fun silent auction. It's just a good time. A good time all around. Free face painting.
Exactly.
Free face painting. Who doesn't love free face painting?
Oh, I don't. I do, and I love it when they do it on me. I'm not the one doing it. But
when you don't have to do it, but somebody's actually like painting you. That's my comfort zone as well. I'm perfect. And I guess that reminds me of our topic of acting, community theater. We don't act at Pride. We are our true selves. And everybody is there as their true self. They're allies and or on the LGBTQ spectrum. But in terms of acting, I have seen straight people act like gays. I've seen gay people act like straights in theater. But I want to jump into both of you. How did the two of you meet? Oh my gosh. It's been a couple years now. It feels like
we met through James Westby.
Yeah.
A mutual friend who is a filmmaker in Portland. And I moved here from Portland and was seeking community and thought, okay, I will find folks with, shared values in that world of theater. And my friend James said, you need to meet Kat and Jason and all these folks with Three Penny Theater. And so that was my first attempt at building community here.
And it was all thanks to James.
And theater, yeah.
Yes. And how long have you been involved in theater, Kat? I see you all around performing. And take me back to like your initial days of theater.
Yeah. So, I grew up when I was a child, and the Checo Pelican Players were based out of a performing arts center in Harbor above the DMV.
I remember that.
That was located about a half mile from my house. And when I was little, every chance that I got, because you could get in for like less than $5 when you were a kid there to see a play, I would walk down there and I would watch whatever show was playing on the matinees, and I'd be there every single matinee because I loved it so much. I found it so captivating. So like from elementary school, and then when I turned 12, I gathered up the nerve to try out for a play, and I've been doing it for about, it's going to be about 20, 21, 22 years now.
Oh, my God.
Ever since then, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so it's been like all through high school. I was involved in theater, and when I moved back here in 2014, I immediately got back on the stage. So just a constant thing. It's a constant presence in my life, and it brings me a ton of joy.
A ton of joy. And I have seen you perform, and you bring a ton of joy to that stage.
Oh, shucks.
Oh, my God. From your what do I want to call them? Your what do you call when your movements, all your movements, and then your facial expressions blow me away. And of course your voice, and I've even heard you at the library read stories. Oh my gosh, you have such a theatrical voice.
Oh golly, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a face and a voice for radio, as people like to say.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's been really fun doing plays here, and a part of the reason it is so much fun, besides just like the joy that you get in expressing yourself in theater, because you mentioned there's no acting at Pride, we're all being our authentic selves. There's when you're acting, it's really nice to be able to find the authenticity in your performance too. Just because you're up there acting doesn't mean you're not being your authentic self necessarily. So
that's right.
And that's kind of like a happy place for me. That's where I feel like my most authentic self is when I'm performing on the stage. I don't know. It's just something that's always been home for me.
It's the true Kat expression.
I guess so.
I guess so. Now, Effie, how about you? Have you been a theater buff as well in terms of your acting career?
Now, I have a very limited acting career. Kat has been witness to it.
Okay, tell us more.
But I was involved in theater in high school and in college. But backstage, and I am a backstage person.
Okay, okay.
But I love what Kat just said about finding that authenticity in the performance. And Kat offered me an opportunity for right or wrong to be in the Vagina Monologues, which we put on last year.
Yes.
And
wonderful.
That felt very authentic to me. And just to kind of piggyback on that idea, I felt like acting, and for me, truly acting in earnest for the first time in that show felt like, oh, I'm finding parts of myself in this role that I haven't necessarily expressed out loud, and definitely never on a stage. So.
And within our small community.
And in a small community. And I love that that show probably challenged a lot of people in a really meaningful way and asked them to exercise empathy and courage and imagination. And yeah.
Excellent words. Challenge, imagination. Yes. I saw your head nod a little bit.
Oh, yeah. No, it was an incredible experience putting on that play. We weren't sure how it was going to be received. It's a very intimate topic, obviously, by virtue of the title and in a very small community. Mm-hmm. And it was incredible to see the positive community response to that. I mean, we had several sold out houses and the audience was just so like warm and giving and had great feedback for everybody. I mean, you could hear them like murmuring, like, you know, like their thoughts on the matter as people were giving their monologues, but not in like a disruptive way, but like that they were actually like experiencing and feeling those emotions, which is exactly what we want to accomplish when we're putting on a good theatrical production, is people all in the same room kind of just grappling with similar feelings and experiences in a communal kind of community-oriented way. So
yes.
It was such a great show. And Effie did amazing.
Oh, high tens.
Thank you.
High tens. Way to go. Way to go.
Yeah. And that also, I think, I don't know if this, I'm going to assume this is your experience, Kat, but that feedback from the community, it extended far beyond, like way outside the walls of the event center. Mm-hmm. And I've had a couple people stop me in grocery outlet and say, "Were you in that play?"
And you turn around and say, "Who, me?"
Yeah, or they'll just, I've had strangers approach and say, "I saw you in that. Mm-hmm. What are you doing next? Mm-hmm. What's Threepenny up to?" Mm-hmm. And we love having Threepenny in town.
Great. And let's talk about that. Let's jump right into it. It's a great interlude there.
Yeah.
Threepenny. All right, you and Jason.
Yeah, we're a relatively new theater company in town. We only we informally got together and put on our first production in 2023, and it was a two-hander play called Venus and Fur that me and Jason just took money out of our savings and went, "Hey, I'd like to try and make a play happen. Right. This is a project that we've been passionate about for a minute, and if we want to make it happen, we got to make it happen." So that went well. It was a dark comedy. It was well received, and we decided, well, a really good way to kind of get things off the ground and what we want to accomplish by bringing like accessible, affordable theater and kind of a pop-up theater experience for people like in non-traditional spaces was to become a nonprofit. So we became a nonprofit in 2024, about the time that we did the Vagina Monologues. Have had a couple more shows since then. And we're now in our starting our third year of operations.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and we're working on probably one of our most ambitious projects yet. We're currently in rehearsals for the complete works of William Shakespeare, abridged, revised again.
Whoa.
It's a crazy comedy. It is, imagine the concept is three doofuses try to teach the masses about Shakespeare's entire canon in 90 minutes or less.
Wow.
Yeah. I think Monty Python does Shakespeare. There's a ton of physical comedy. There's so much humor in it. You don't need to understand or be familiar with Shakespeare at all to get laughs out of it and enjoy it. It's actually the play that made me go, I want to bite the bullet and actually try out for a play when I was 12 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. The director of this play, Victoria Weller, She, back in the day, in the early 2000s, was part of another traveling theater company called Foxwell Productions. And she and a couple of her colleagues put on this play in the Brookings area, again, in the early 2000s. And I remember sitting in that audience and, not to spoil any bits too much, but essentially like getting, quote, thrown up on in the audience. I was like, I want to do that because I thought it was so funny.
Yes, yes.
How do I get involved with that? That's the play that made me want to start acting. Yeah.
And when you engage the audience and you can see their emotions and you can hear their laughter and you can see their faces, you know, what is that like from the stage?
Oh my gosh.
To know that you're resonating with the people in the theater.
It is the best feeling in the world. It is all the dopamines. All the dopamines for sure. And one of the great things about our format is that because we're a traveling troupe, sometimes we perform in rather small spaces, rather intimate performance spaces. I recently did a comedy called Sylvia where the line between where we stop as actors and the front row of seats was about a foot.
Whoa.
I was playing a dog, as you do, and I was in a scene where I had to chase after a cat. And I get yanked back on a harness. And I had to really trust that my scene partner was going to yank back on my harness and keep me from leaping into the lap of the lady in the front row.
Oh, my gosh.
As I'm barking at this cat. Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. But seeing their faces, like still being engaged in the play, but seeing like the delight on people's faces when you're doing something that is just like so funny to them is the best feeling in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that is that pure joyously free kind of thing that happens. Absolutely. I know I've been very close to actors as well, and they've actually spit on me. I felt their saliva hit my face, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is for real. This is not a TV screen.
No.
You know, this is for real. And you can see your perspiration. You can see your red face skin. I mean, literally, it's pounding as a person in the audience. Back to backstage. You know, we couldn't do theater without the backstage people.
Yeah.
You think about that. Prop making. Tell us a little bit about the backstage part, Effie.
So it's very minimal. I have zero formal training. I ended up doing a lot of backstage work that no one else would do. So,
such as what?
Building sets, painting sets, oddly enough, doing makeup, which is not my forte. So I did that for Pippin, which involved a lot of makeup. And then I was the president of my local Shakespeare club in college.
Nice.
Or I said local, but the college Shakespeare club, and we would put on these sort of flash mob style performances. Yes. And so sometimes I would perform in those, but very, very, very minimally. And again, only because someone else wouldn't do it.
Right.
And then backstage stuff, I loved like kind of the construction end of things.
Yes. And the imagination and the creativity to create that backdrop or that scene.
The vision.
To build it.
The artsy kind of, all right, I think we need better props for this. And that's where I'll be stepping in with Shakespeare, our upcoming.
And to speak to your point about you say you have relatively little experience with certain aspects of backstage work. But I mean, honestly, that's where a lot of people come to community theater. It's not like they come in with a heavy background in this stuff. And that's usually how people get introduced to, if they feel like taking it in a professional direction. This is a place where people get introduced to concepts like that. One of the people who is in Complete Works of William Shakespeare with us, Chloe Rosenthal, is actually, we grew up together here in Brookings.
Corey's great.
Yeah. Chloe.
Chloe. I'm sorry, I said Corey. My fault.
And she moved down to L.A. after being involved in community theater here. She fell in love with it so much that she was like, I want to act. And she's been involved in both stage and on-screen productions and has done on-screen acting, stage acting. She's directed before, but she wanted to make a career out of it, and she's been taking steps to make that happen. So, it really all starts at community theater for some people.
It led her to other things.
Yeah.
And then how many local people are really involved in our community theater? Between Chetco Playhouse and Three Penny, what would you say? How many do you think have hit the stage or hit the backstage?
It's at least hundreds. at least hundreds of people. And it's a really like astounding when you stop to think about it, how many people it takes to put on a successful play or musical.
Would you talk about that,
Yeah,
Kat? A little bit more detail.
Well, I mean, besides the cast, besides the people that you see on stage, you have somebody running the light booth. You have a stage manager. You hopefully have some stage hands to help the stage manager. You have people who are in charge of costuming, people who are in charge of props. You have people who are in a musical setting, often doing the choreography for the play. You have your director, your assistant director. You have all of these crew members, again, speaking to the value of those backstage, behind-the-scenes people making it happen. So even though you see a play where you see maybe like 10 to 20 people on stage, there's probably at least another 10 to 20 people backstage, from ushers to volunteers at the snack bar, from all of these little things that make community theater happen. It really is a collaborative group effort. Yeah.
Right on. So what would be some tips for the listeners out there right now on how they can be involved or when they can attend? Can you give us some specifics on that?
Absolutely. So we don't have as formal of a season schedule as the Checo players do, because we're traveling. We just have that flexibility. But so we on our end encourage people, if you want to get involved with any shows that we have coming up, even if that's backstage, if you're like, I'm not ready to step on the stage yet, even if you want to help backstage and just get a feel for what things are like, they can find us on Facebook. We're Three Penny Theater Co. You can, or Instagram or TikTok. We have all of those too. They can send an email to contact@threepennytheater.com. They can call 541-251-0640 to talk to a human being if they want.
Can you repeat that phone number and the email?
Yeah. So the email is contact@threepennytheater.com. And the phone number is 541-251-0640. We are always looking for help. Again, like if you want to help at the snack bar, we're looking for volunteers right now for behind the scenes and front of house help with the complete works of William Shakespeare Abridged. So please, if you want to get involved with that, the show run is going to be July 25th through August 3rd. So if you've got some time coming up in midsummer and you want to help out, please get in touch. We would love to hear from you. We're also going to be scheduling auditions soon as well for our upcoming fall drama. And that is an incredible, beautiful story called Ugly Lies the Bone. And that is, it's a dark comedy. It's definitely toward the drama, but there's a lot of humor infused throughout. And it's about this woman named Jess, and she is a veteran from the Afghan wars. And she ends up coming home from the war with severe burns. And as she comes back and she's beginning her journey of healing and managing her pain, she's also trying to reconnect with her sister, who's helping to take care of her through this process, and reconnect with other people in her community in this Florida town. And it's a beautiful story. Jess is just an incredibly just an acerbic, funny character too. She has a lot of good humor in her, and the way that she approaches what's happened to her and what's happened to her family. It's just a beautiful story. So we're looking for a few actors for that as well. Ooh, okay. It's a really good show. It's a really cool show to be a part of. It's going to have a lot of fun elements in it. So.
Nice. And that's what I love about acting and going to theater are the stories. It's a story. It's a live story.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful.
And it's so different than reading a book. You're seeing it how the producers and the creators envision this, and that's what you see and you take with you.
Yeah, and it's an expression. Like you have that script in front of you, and there's the original way that the play was done. But when you're producing it yourself, that's your opportunity to express it in your own way.
Yes,
which is really cool.
Yes. Is that a musical as well? Are they musicals?
That's a straight play. No musical on that one. And so you don't need to sing. But we are looking for somebody to play Jess, our main character, and it will involve the use of some pretty heavy special effects makeup.
Wow.
And we need somebody who's got a lot of energy and ready to bring it to that role and be very expressive in that way. We're also looking for her sister and a couple of men. So please,
excellent.
If you're interested, please get in touch with us, and we'll be announcing those audition dates soon.
You bet. And if I remember, I wrote it down, 541-251-0640. You can actually call and talk to a live person and find out more details. And even no commitment. They can just call and ask, like a discovery call.
Yeah.
And find out.
Just get details, ask questions. questions. We love when people ask us questions. That means you're thinking about us.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Effie, I know that you are also an English teacher.
I am.
And with that English background, can you relate some of that to theater?
Oh, yeah. It's why I'm drawn, what you said, stories. It's why I'm drawn to theater. And I have taught several classes in drama. And I think just Kat's talking about coming forward and maybe volunteering or participating backstage or on stage. And one of the things that I see in the classroom a lot is fear.
Oh.
And I think fear is always an invitation. And in the classroom and in theater, and it definitely was for me. And Threepenny, the folks that I have met since moving here have been so supportive. And I'll say, no, I've never done this before. I'm not very good at this. And they're like, you're great. You're fine. And just do not allow those fears and that I have and that I think a lot of people have to take over.
Exactly.
And to ruin something that could be joyous.
I learned in an English class, FEAR, fear, false evidence appearing real.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's so true. That's so true. We are down to just a minute and a half. How about some final comments from each of you and give our listeners some final tips or final comments?
Oh, gosh. Well, I guess to all those fearful people out there, if you've been thinking about getting involved in a play in any capacity, just think about all the capacity for the joy of telling this story in a way that resonates with an entire room of people. It can be such a magical experience. So I'd say take that leap. We need your help. Take that leap and come join us.
1, 2, 3, leap.
Yes.
There we go. Come join us. How about you, Effie? Final comments.
Yeah, I feel really privileged to have met Kat, to have become a member of the Threepenny family. And I would encourage other folks to explore theater in whatever way and to just be curious. And yeah, I mean, it's really fun to see other people feel proud as well of the work that they're doing. And then it's contagious. It's so contagious.
Yes.
And wonderful. And so.
Oh, and from the top of my heart, I thank both of you. You are both joyful spirits in yourself, and that is your true self. And what you do in our community to bring alive the teams of people that perform for entertainment and for joy is just incredible. So my hat's off to each of you, Kat, and to Effie for doing that and being that. Oh, thank you, everybody. KCIW listeners, 100.7 FM. We thank Mike on the soundboard today. We thank Tom, Candace, and Rose, and the entire team for making this happen. This aired Joyously Free show will be found on kciw.org. So please share it. Listen to it. Send us comments. Contact Effie or Kat and get involved. We appreciate all of you listening. We appreciate all the best of everything going on. Happy day.